Part two. You will not believe what just happened. Oh, what the fuck? Wait a minute. No. Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Okay, cool. Hopefully nobody saw that rough start. I'm going to wait for a couple people to come back because I owe everyone an explanation for what just happened. I can't even believe what just happened. Shout out Chad. Chad's back. Shout out Dallas. This is crazy. My look what happened. My headphones broke off in the sound card. I had to pry my headphone jack out of the sound card just now, and it completely messed my sound card up, which froze the entire computer. I had to restart. This is it broke off in two parts. Look at this. And this is a nice headphone jack. This is a nice 1/4-inch adapter. See it? It's gold. It's the gold adapter. It's not a cheap adapter. Am I live on YouTube? Are you on YouTube? Let me know if you're on YouTube. This is crazy. So this beat that we just played from and I'm gonna restart it. This beat that we just played from Beethoven Beats completely destroyed my headphones. So let me play this beat again. Let's start over again. Shout out to everyone that joined again. Look at this. Look at this. It looks like shell casings. Jesus. Shout out DChai14. Who else is in here? It's a lot of you. Let me hit the chat right quick. Tech Beats, what's going down? Legacy Preserved, what's going down? We are listening to Beethoven Beats right now. Let me know if you can hear the beat all right. We got 5 more after this. If you're in the YouTube, this is what happened. My headphone jack completely broke. Mark Shaka, if you want to submit beats, go to djpayne1.com. If you're a member of my Discord, which you can join, patreon.com/djpayne1, you get priority. So anyone who's in my Discord gets free slots. If there are free slots available every week when I do these reviews, Discord members get it. And I'm reviewing the beat, but we got a whole chat full of people. So a lot of you are musicians. Let me know what you think of the beat. This is Beethoven Beats. I'll give my feedback at the end, but as you're listening to this, let me know what you're hearing. What do you think of the beat? How you feel about it? What do you like about it? What can improve? What can be added? What can be eliminated? Let me know. We got 2.5 minutes. I wanted to let it play since we had that whole fiasco with the shell casing, like ballistic, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the hell just happened. I've never seen it split in half. My headphone jack split in half and it was lodged in my audio interface. Crazy. I've never had that happen before. Of course, it happens when I'm live. It couldn't have happened 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after. It had to happen while I was live. All right, cool. Beethoven Beats. Appreciate you for submitting a track. I know a lot of people were saying that there's some dissonance. So let me isolate that dissonance real quick. So I think what it is your first chord, right? It might be the second one too. Let me start from the very beginning. Yeah. The first few notes of that bass line, either that or the first 3 chords in your chord progression are dissonant, which means you are playing in different keys, and it comes together. I mean, I like the sound selection, I like the rhythm of the bass line, I like the clap, how you alternate between the delay clap and just the regular one shot. I think that shows that you have a good ear for production. I think the next step for you is just ear training. And that's a difficult task because it's one of those things that you can't necessarily be taught, but it's something that you train yourself to do. So I would recommend there are plenty of ear training exercises on YouTube. I certainly recommend YouTube University. Ear training will just help you discern between notes, and what that will do is it will help you decide whether a chord is in key with a counter melody or a bass line, because the first couple were not in key. And I believe if those were in key, then you would have a much more solid foundation. I think the ideas are there. I think you have some decent ideas. Shout out King Sins. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now giving feedback. I appreciate what he was doing with the track. I think it's just a matter of training your ear, and as a result, sound selection will improve. I don't think the chord progression was bad. It just didn't work with the rest of the track. So you want to make sure that everything's cohesive in terms of the key first and foremost. And from there you just build incrementally your producer toolkit. So trust me, it's one of those things where the more you improve, the more you reflect on what else needs to improve. So, okay, I did my ear training. All right, cool. What else do I need to improve? All right, well, my sound selection feels a little bit dated because I think that clap, that classic 808 clap, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. The kick felt a little stock. It cut through the mix decently well though. But there are plenty of other kick drums that sound a little more modern, less like the stock kicks from like a 909. And same with the hi-hats too. Let me listen back to the hi-hats. I like the hi-hats, and I actually like that counter snare. The counter snare is great. So I think drum sound selection is pretty good. Overall, I think the beat could just have a little bit more energy, a little bit more bounce. I know it's a chill beat, but because it's so calm, to liven it up and increase the dynamic a little bit, faster hi-hats, some hi-hat variation. The counter snare is dope though, so you're onto something with that. Appreciate you, Beto, for submitting that beat. Oh, we got Tasha in here. What's up, Tasha? When I was just talking to Rob today because we were talking about we're teaching together. Arun is part of the summer camp as well. And I was telling Rob, I'm like, man, I hope Tasha comes back so we can go on one of those tours because that was fun. The tour itself was fun, even though we almost crashed in that UW van many times. But also the final performance with the jazz band was dope. I love that. Pasquale the Great, is it too late? It might be. I don't know, but I'm gonna be back. So submit on djpayne1.com or join the Discord, patreon.com/djpayne1, or do both. Shout out to It Is Luca. He's 16, making beats. Is it a beat for a song or maybe sync type? I think it could work for either. Once the dissonance is addressed, it could work for either. The next submission we have is from Kyle William Anderson, full government name. The name of this track is Akai MPC beat. Okay. So we got an Akai user. Here we go. Shout out the judge of all art, live from Argentina. Shout out to Nick Cramp, up 5. I hope I'm saying your name right. Chad, what do we think of the beat? D Chai thinks it's dope. Nick Cramp likes it. I hear all those MPC effects. I don't know if this is the 2000 or if this is the MPC one. Nick Ramp, shout out Nick Ramp. This is yeah, and you can tell these MPC users, man. They have these effects built right in, especially to the new one. Crazy. King Sins is a rapper, by the way. So his opinion is different from all the producers. Like producers give opinions on other beats all the time. But if you are a producer that wants to produce specifically for vocalists, having input from vocalists is key. Lord Magnus says this could work for a high energy Maybelline commercial. You know what? Yeah, actually, with dancing in the background and there's a waterproof lip liner, something like that. There we go. Tasha's dancing. A whole team of people. Matthew Sanchez. Yeah, I hope so. And get in the Discord. Patreon.com/DJPayne1 is how you join the Discord. Millie Matic. Shout out DJ Payne1 constantly showing love. Appreciate you. Jay Coop says drums go hard as hell. I like it. I just think sorry, my camera's in the way. I think I do things different with the drums. The judge has spoken. He says hard flow. Shout out to Argentina. Okay, yeah, Kyle William Anderson is down with the Maybelline. So if anyone here is a representative of Maybelline, then holler at Kyle William Anderson. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's the MPC. I like the track a lot. You know what's dope to me is it is a really loop based track, which there's nothing wrong with. For this type of track, I think it would need to either be played in the background of a commercial or it needs vocals on it just to fill it out because there's that 4-bar loop and that 4-bar loop. After like 2.5 minutes, it starts to get a little redundant. I like that you added a harmony on that main sound. I don't know what the main sound is. It sounds like vocals. It sounds like even a harmonica, maybe all the above. But to add a harmony on top of that is pretty dope. I wouldn't have thought to do that. But also, I think, when you're making loop-based stuff like that, even if you are shopping it to vocalists, there's opportunity to add some B sections, some breakdowns just to influence the dynamic more. So it can, and I like that you added effects too. It can be something as simple with, even though it's kind of played out. I still like doing it. People still like doing it. Adding, it's a trumpet sound. Okay, cool. Like the high pass, low pass, those effects can change the dynamics, but also just adding just a part B. It can be something surprising, like smoothing it out a little bit, dropping the dynamic down, adding chords, something else, something in the same key, but then bringing it right back up to that, upper energy, high energy dynamic. Or it can just be, a B section where you remove that main sax sample and add in a different instrument and drop the dynamic down, build it back up. So I think dynamics are something that can take a beat from loop based to more of a dynamic journey for whoever is listening. Am I reviewing songs at 7 p.m.? Yep, I am. I got songs on the way. Shout out Sick Boy, the illest. I recognize that name. I need to start making some moderators. We haven't had anything weird happen here, not yet, but there's always a chance. So I need to find some people that I trust to moderate on the YouTube. Cool, man. We got some Discord members in here, and I have a few of their beats. I've got Lord Magnus. I got Beats by Legendary. Actually, let's go with Beats by Legendary. He is the newest Discord member that submitted. If you want to submit or join the Discord, go to patreon.com/DJPayne1. Patreon.com/DJPayne1. We collab on beats every single week. This week, I posted 2 collab opportunities. It's like $3 to join if you join annually, and if you join at the higher tiers, you get all of my drum and sample packs for free. So honestly, if you join right now, you get like hundreds of dollars worth of free sample packs. It's kind of stupid on my part, but hey, join and take advantage of my stupidity. Here we go. The name of this track is Optics by Beats by Legendary. Let me know what you think in the chat. I look as tired as I feel right now. Oh my God. Nobody saw me spill water, right? Chat, what do you think of the beat? Critiques, compliments. I like the energy of the track. It's one of those tracks that just works, because musically it's sound, it's simple, it's very straightforward, but it also just works. Like the musicality is good. I think, yeah, Lord Magnus, I do look tired, but Lord Magnus also said, I just want to put some texture on those pianos. It does sound very clean and textureless. I do appreciate that you have that kind of distorted pad in the background. But also I think a lot of it is just the frequency spectrum. So there is a wide gap between, the high pianos, the low sub bass, and then, in terms of everything but the drums, there's this wide space in between that you can fill up in a way that won't affect the vocals and will just make it feel like a fuller beat. Also with the piano, like you can't go wrong with piano, but that piano is very dry. As far as sounds go, especially the main sound, it's a really dry sound. So I think layering the piano with other sounds, maybe adding some more sustained elements, playing with octaves, because the piano is in a high octave, it could go down an octave as well every now and again. And then trying to glue that piano to the rest of the beat using some type of sound design. So either a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, some additional instrumentation just to fill out that frequency range that the piano occupies. But when I listen to the beat, there's no dissonance, there's nothing glaringly wrong with the beat. I think we can just scale it up and build on the foundation that you created, which is a solid foundation as it is. Let me grab the next track. Lord Magnus is here. I don't know about the others. Your Ride Dragon and Silky Smooth are up next. So if you are in the chat, let yourselves be known. Oh, we got Lone Star in here. Lone Star Music is a legend. All right, we're gonna check out Lord Magnus' track. hit it. I'm so glad my headphones are working. If you didn't know what happened, the reason the stream stopped the first time, my headphone jack did this. Split right in half. If you want your beats review, go to djpain1.com or join the Discord. Shout out 241. Lord Magnus, what did you use on those pianos? I like the effect. It's like a delay, but something else is going on. There's definitely a delay. I like the drum programming a lot. It's a pretty quiet master, so compared to the last track, I believe if I play the last track, yeah, that one's louder. So it's hard for me to hear all the elements without turning the volume way up. But there's this part here, right? So in terms of dynamics, I feel like it's ramping up here, and then there's this drum fill that comes in right here. And I was expecting something to come in right after that because you have that drum fill. Drum fills predict a change. Drum fills predict something new is about to be introduced. And so that big of a drum fill, I feel like should lead into at very least the what am I? Oh, you use isotope for that? Okay. Crazy. I need to learn how to use that because I have it. I think. Maybe I don't. Effects, EQ, isotope. I don't know. Maybe I don't have it, but that's what he used on the piano. Not gatekeeping the effects. So leading up to that part, I think that the drop is going to be bigger. At least we're going to introduce some of the low end, and the low end doesn't come in yet. When the low end does come in, unfortunately, it's out of key, so that kind of threw me off. But I almost feel like, again, kind of like what I said to the last producer, Beats by Legendary. There's a lot of space that still can be occupied. For you, it's more the lows and the low mids, not so much the highs. I think the highs are taken care of, especially when that piano comes in and the vocal sample comes in. Those parts are dope because they really fill things out. But the bass line is super sparse. So if it had a more consistent presence, it would feel fuller. And there's more that you can do with that piano as well. It doesn't have to just hang way up there at the highest frequency range. So yeah, I mean, I think drum programming great, piano's dope, samples dope, bass line fix the key on, and with regard to dynamics, just build the dynamics up. Let's check out Uri Dragon. Hopefully he's in here. Name of this track is Spirit Bounce. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, that wasn't Lord Magnus beat. That was Uri Dragon. I'm sorry, Lord Magnus. Or am I wrong? Is Restream just messed up? Yeah, okay. Restream is messed up. That was Lord Magnus. Here is Uri Dragon. Spirit Bounce. He said this one combined a couple of his passions, which included, I think, meditation and yoga, and then beat making. I like what he did with the vocals. It's a simple melody, but it works because we know where it's coming from. Yeah, that's dope. I like that. It's one of those very simple but very effective beats. There is space, as far as I'm concerned, there is space to add more to it. Um, but everything it works well together. I think the low frequencies could stand to be a little fuller and more exciting. But as far as just the overall track, I think everything comes together really well. The main vocals, yeah, it's good. I think there are some ways to glue everything together, make everything a little more cohesive. It could just be so, oh, you said a new instrument. So, okay, I'll play. I'll keep playing because there's no bass right now. There it goes. Let me hear the other. Where's the other instrument? I don't know which other instrument you were telling me. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think yeah, it's one of those beats where personally I always get concerned because a lot of producers will add a bunch of stuff and then crowd out the vocals. But I think if you're working with an artist on this, that's certainly enough of a foundation for them to lay down their parts. And then you come back to it and add more, produce around the vocals. That way that you know you're certainly not going to uh obstruct the vocal frequencies by adding too much stuff. Obviously, you don't want to do that. I think everyone likes that track, though. I definitely think everyone likes that track. Let me grab the final track. Silky Smooth, he's a member of the Patreon as well. Patreon.com/DJPayne1. Join the Discord. If you want to submit music, either songs or beats, go to DJPayne1.com. Did I introduce this? Again, I'm half asleep. I'm sorry. I've been teaching full time for the last 2 weeks. Silky Smooth Productions is on this beat.
Silky smooth. Silky smooth.
This is actually a Discord collab, so that's cool. I like the drum programming a lot. Is Silky Smooth in here? I'm pretty sure he's in Europe, so the time zones might kind of mess him up. Let's see. I think being around this is 27 Big L. I think being around spaces like this are beneficial to keep my mind. Yeah, definitely. Real Spill likes it. D Child likes it. Nick Ramp says potential. Yeah, a lot of people like this one. I see why. I think there's a lot What do we think about the drum mix? So I'm from what I'm hearing, it feels like the main instruments could afford to go down a little in the mix so that the drums could be more powerful, specifically the kick. I like the snare rolls. The snare rolls that he programmed are pretty good. I feel like the drum mix could just be a little more powerful, just a little more powerful, and that's a mix note. Because the way the track is, it's a pretty aggressive sounding track. The way it's composed, the instrumentation, it's aggressive, and so I think, yeah, I think the drums could just hit harder in the mix. So if I were to focus on anything with regards to completing this track, it would be that. Lord Magnus says, I would have just had passed the strings or pads and put a lead melody over the top of it. Oh, high passed. Yeah, that too. Just EQ some of the lows and the low mids out of these samples too to let the drums and the bass really shine. Um, Jay Coop says drums are well done. I would have dialed back the main instrument effect and carved out some mid range. Yep, well that's what I just said, but you know there are delays. That's probably the same critique I have about the drums. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what that's from 27 Big L. So we're all on the same page. Appreciate you, Silky Smooth Productions, for being a member of the Discord. You can join at patreon.com/DJPayne1. That's all the beats for today. It was pretty light on the production side. I'm going to log off and get ready for the song reviews because the song reviews are on the way, and there are definitely a lot more of those. So give me 15 minutes. I'm going to take a quick power nap. I'm just playing. I'm exhausted, though. Then I'll be back on and we will check out the song reviews. If you want to submit a song or a beat, go to djpayne1.com. That's how you submit. Just follow the instructions. djpayne1.com. That's how you submit a song. That's how you submit a beat. And I will catch you in about 15 minutes.